The Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verses 12 to 13. His eyes are like the eyes of doves by the rivers of waters, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are like a bed of spices, like sweet flowers, his lips like lilies, dropping sweet-smelling myrrh. Now the eyes of a dove are beautiful, and to any observer of birds, the gentleness in the eyes of a dove is most apparent. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Matthew 11:29, the words of Jesus. Say to the daughter of Zion, behold, your king is coming to you, gentle, and mounted on a donkey, even on a colt, the foal of a beast of burden. Matthew 21:5. Now Jesus was gentle because he had faith, and he knew that God had everything in hand. Gentleness and faith go together. Think about it. The opposite of gentle is aggression and rough boldness. And the reason why some Christians are tempted to act like this is because they lack faith. They feel that they have to raise their voice and press the other person to accept what they are saying. But faith knows that God has everything in hand. One of Jesus' sayings was, let he who has ears to hear, hear. This was the calmness of faith. Now the dove is renowned for its faithfulness. It never finds another mate if the first dies. And as water, which is mentioned in this verse, has been identified with prayer, worship, and study, God is always attentive, faithful, to observe and to watch his faithful at prayer. And he's described as he who hears prayer. What a beautiful title that is. That's Psalm 65, verse 2. And there's another verse which says, for the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayer. He is faithful to their prayer. That's 1 Peter 3:12. And in 1 John 5:15. And if we know that he hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have what we asked of him. And what of the milk that's mentioned in these verses? His eyes always view everything in equity. His perception is pure. And finally, the wealth of fragrant herbs and spices mentioned here are his words on Sinai and his interpretation of those words beside the Sea of Galilee some 1400 years later, known as the Sermon on the Mount. These were beautiful and gave forth lovely fragrance.